Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be covering this awesome 100% free Excel investment tracker that anybody out there can set up. It's really easy and it's going to be downloadable so you can just plug and play with your own investments and your own numbers. There's a lot of great stuff that entails with it, and maybe you don't have access to Excel. If you don't already have access to Excel, then I also made something similar for the Google Spreadsheets that you're going to want to check out. Here is a link to the video, but this is a little bit more intuitive. This is a little bit more in depth. You can do more with Excel's functionality. So that's why I want to talk about this. And like I said, it is 100% downloadable off of my website, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So the link to my website will be in the description, but you can head over to dlitztv.com, and what it's going to pull up for you is my website here. And you can see in the top right section is that VIP resource library. Now, if you missed my last video where I talked about my website launch, this is really the section that I'm really going to be focusing on building out. So you can see I have a number of key resources here, and in the bottom left is that simple investment tracker. Now that's exactly what it is. All you need to do is click on that and it will automatically download for you. So open up that Excel spreadsheet and it's going to take you to this right here. Now you actually have to go ahead and click enable editing, and it's also going to say that you need to enable the content because it's linked with a lot of different, there's Microsoft linking it with the stock market data. So you need to enable that so it's actually able to do it and automate the process for you. So on the first main screen here, you can see this is just the instructions, the breakdown of how this works. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit in depth and showing you guys examples so you can understand exactly how this works. But essentially, on this screen, it just talks about that you can use this to determine, your holdings, your allocation, your visual breakdown on your portfolio, and a number of great things. You can see at the very bottom, I have the investment tab and I have the allocations tab. When you click on these, it's going to take you to screens that look similar to what you're seeing here. So this just gives you a breakdown on, how you can add stocks, how you can add different columns to the spreadsheet, and what kind of information you can pull in, how you can refresh the data so it's as new as generated as possible, so you can get all that updated information. And then it talks about how to set up your targets, your goals, and whatnot in the allocation tab. So I'm actually going to just give you a brief little visual on the investment tracker here. You can see that this isn't my exact portfolio. This is just an example, a template that has been created, built out for you guys to use. You can see there's Apple in here. There's a couple bonds, there's ETFs, there's mutual funds, the whole 9 yards. You can get really anything into here. And what's great and my favorite feature is that it actually shows the entire breakdown and the visual breakdown of this on this very next page, where you can see the allocation in terms of the sectors. You can see the visual breakdown on the holdings, the percentages, and then you can actually set targets and you can see your actual percentage. So for example, where I have 10% is my target, it's going to highlight these when they're not hitting that target. I believe it's a few percentage points off. So that way you can try to visually see, okay, maybe I should be investing more in bonds and maybe investing a little bit less in real estate. So this will all automatically update as you update this page. You never really have to touch anything here unless you want to add on to it, unless you want to see visually different charts, different graphs. You can just house them right on this page here. But heading over to the investment tabs, this is great. It's super easy. It's pretty much all automated except for just inputting the number of shares that you buy, the shares that you have, and the category of it. So for example, if you wanted to add a new stock to here, let's say you wanted to add Zoom, because Zoom's been killing it. They've been doing really well in this quarantine with all the virtual conferences and everything that needs to go on. So if you go ahead, you insert a new column here, you can see it's already trying to pull in data. It says hashtag field with an exclamation point. Just basically there's nothing to pull in quite yet. But when I do the ticker symbol, which is ticker symbol ZM for Zoom, it's going to refresh and it's going to automatically populate this information. Now I didn't have to do anything for this, and you can see my portfolio percentage is 0. That's because I have 0 shares, but it pulls in the price, the change, the percentage change, and how much percentage my portfolio, as well as the value of my portfolio. So let's say I bought 50 shares of Zoom. All I need to do is input that here and go ahead, click enter. You can see now it's 6% of my portfolio. I have all this information automatically. I would have just invested $12,955.75. The cool thing is now if I click over here, this all has been automatically updated as well on this chart, on this sheet. The visuals, everything has already been taken into account. You don't need to do anything there. Now, another really cool feature is that you can add a lot of the stuff on as extras, as add-ons if you want to see it. I kept this really simple for the purposes of this video, but you can add things like the ticker symbol here. It's going to give you the ticker symbols for all of these. You can see my total is always going to be calculated here in this column. You can do a number of different things. Some won't necessarily link with the Excel and the stock market data, which kind of is annoying, but you know, it's not really a huge deal because this is really, you know, just a bare bones kind of tracker. If you want more in-depth stuff, it's really, there's some great resources out there that you can pay for to get some great trackers. Now, you can look at the open price PEs, you know, the low, the highs, let's say 52-week high. Some of them will populate and some of them you're going to get errors for, which kind of is a bummer. I haven't really seen a workaround for this quite yet, but some of the information, you know, mostly what you're going to see is the stocks do really, really well. So you can see Apple here and Zoom do well. If I added another one, for example, let's do McDonald's. Oh, the cool thing is you can also instead of doing the ticker symbol, you can actually spell out the company name. So if I were to do McDonald's, it's gonna auto-populate all of that information, and then you can set your share amount. So let's say I got 6 shares of that. All of that gets populated there. Come over here. I didn't mention this, but the category, I just like seeing this as a visual representation. You can drop this down and you get a number of picks for what you can categorize this as. So you can do US stocks, and you can also do a number of different ones there. So looking at this, other things that you might want to be interested in is the industry. Unfortunately, some of them don't automatically get updated as well here. So there is a little bit of manual input if you want it to be 100% accurate with your own checking. And honestly, if you're looking at industries, a lot of times the pre-built industries aren't exactly what you have in mind for industries that you want to be tracking. For examples, I wouldn't call this computers, phone, household electronics. I'd probably call Apple a technology company, just kind of categorize it a little bit more in a broad sense, and it would be able to allow me to visually, you know, see a lot of that stuff on my allocations. You could do another breakdown here, another visual breakdown based specifically on the industry. You can also do geography, you know, where these companies are located, their country, their region. There's a number of great things that you can pull into here, betas. Highly recommend using, you know, an Excel spreadsheet to track this information, but there's also that Google Sheet that I did talk about before. If you don't have Excel, I find that this information is a little bit better on the Excel platform rather than the Google Sheets. I'm sure it doesn't make a huge difference, but this one is just a little bit more automated. It's downloadable for you to go check out on the website right now, and I would highly recommend doing that. So anyways, guys, that is it. Go and download that investment tracker. Let me know, give me some feedback if there's any enhancements you'd like to be made moving forward in the future. I'll definitely make sure to do so. And then if you have any comments on the website, obviously it's a brand new, fresh website. Let me know anything along those lines. It really does help me out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video and have a great day.